Don't blame your drug habit on the child. Do not do that.
Kids wanna. I got a little Garcelle, a Blanca, little cocaine cowboys in my house right now.
But
Nigga, I'm bye. That was it. That's it right there.
it's the Exes and O's podcast where we don't claim to be experts, but feel like we got a little bit of experience with this thing called life. It's your boy Jeremy.
I'm Janae, and
We're just gonna jump right into it. I ain't gonna lie. We had it as a topic for the day for parenting, and I'm introducing this so that she can take the lead with this one. But parenting, co-parenting, what a joy.
let me get. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah. Well, I just happened to finish cleaning up a mountain, Scarface full mountain of powder, literally baby powder. My daughter just decided to put powder everywhere, just literally before we got onto this podcast, and yeah, if you could see my lower half, which you're not going to see, yeah, I'm pretty much covered still. That's fine, no big
Legs
deal.
are swinging too, but that's okay.
Okay. I wasn't even gonna bring up some people's, physical feet, but we're not. Okay, but yeah. So parenting, love it. You gotta love it. Interesting
Man.
little kid. Gotta love the little.
Listen, let me paint the story. So, we're about to get started. We've been doing the rundown on the podcast. We're about to get started. You can hear her running around in the room. She's like, Janai, go lay down. I'm like, you know what? Being the father I am, being the daughter she is, daddy's little girl. I'm like, you know what? Let me go tuck her in a second time. When I say I got in there, she's holding, she's trying to read her Paw Patrol book, Pitch Black Dark. I go grab the book, like, you being cute. Go try to put the book up, nearly slip and fall.
Yeah.
And there's baby powder everywhere. She's covered from head to toe.
Yeah. That's pretty much what happened.
And the whole time she's like, don't go in there. Don't go in there.
If I would have went in there later, it would have been just a whole bunch of. I promise, I would have slept right on it. I wouldn't even have cared. At that point, I'd have been so tired. Like, yep, I'm not cleaning this up. We just gonna both wake up like we just.
You would have came out like powder. You remember that old movie Powder?
Seriously, like literally, like we're gonna all be just powdered out. Like, you know what I mean? She had powder everywhere. I would have had powder everywhere.
Oh
It's
my
cool.
gosh.
It's cool. So, what do you? Since we're on parenting, and that's our subject for right now. What are some of the things you would say are some of the struggles or the pros and cons of co-parenting?
Believe it or not, I think struggle-wise or the cons are very similar to whether we were together or not. Because, we both have two different philosophies on going about things. We both want what's best for her, but what we feel is the best course of action, like two individuals, is going to be different, like anybody else. So I think the same struggles are the same whether we were together or not. Communication. Communication.
If anybody knows Janae, yeah, very much so. A struggle.
She's not like she's like on the podcast, y'all. She don't talk this much. At least to me, that is when it comes to parenting. No, but all jokes aside, it's just really just, I think that's just the main struggle. But I think again that would have been a struggle whether we're together or not. Pro, um, is there? I don't know. As the man, I don't know if there's a pro when it's like, yo, I get less time with her now that we're not together compared to like you get like weekends off, and it's like, well, I don't get the joys of coming home and daddy. I was robbed of that before ended up making the plunge into entrepreneurship. But what about you? What are your pros and cons, Missy?
Um, Pros. I do get a break. That's it. It's not real much pros of co-parenting, but when he gets her, I do get a break. That's a great thing. Kind of, yeah. Uh, a wonderful thing, honestly. But
Helps with dating life, huh?
it helps business and dating,
Mhm. Mhm.
but dating especially on weekends.
Mhm.
Um, hater. Anyway, um, the the cons of course communicating. Um,
I thought I was pretty well with my communication.
um, well, sometimes how you communicate is always, again, you think just communicating is talking. It's way more than that. So that part I would agree with him on that, and just let's just continue. Work life balance is the next subject. I'll talk about work life balance, which has always been probably oddly but not oddly because I'm a Libra, a juggle, um, entrepreneurial wise, trying to find the balance between overindulging myself in sorry, overindulging myself in my art and my business and stuff like that, and understand, like, because we have a daughter now, understanding not to rob her of that time, of her time, um, and it's always a struggle, but I think it's very important, especially if you have kids, and especially even if you don't have kids, to really find time for yourself away from your job. You don't want to be somebody like, well, if I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant. What am I? What do I do? What am I? I've been an accountant all my life, or I've been a lawyer, or whatever. A tennis player, or a basketball player, whatever it may be. I think it's important to have that balance to know what you are outside of your job.
I find work-life balance to be a very interesting subject. Because what is work-life balance? I believe everything, because everything can't be exactly even in life because your interests aren't even across the board. So again, I believe there is a real what they consider, I guess, like a misconception to what work-life balance really is. Because it's like, oh, if I spend 8 hours at work, what am I supposed to spend 8 hours with the family? And then there's no time for myself because then I'm supposed to sleep another 8 hours. That's 24 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? However,
That's always people's problems.
yeah, but that's what I mean. The whole judging what is work-life balance, and I believe personally that has become such a buzzword because I mean I don't think our parents or our parents were talking about work-life balance. Not sitting there saying they weren't experiencing the same issues, nonetheless. But me personally, like again, I agree with her wholeheartedly. Just as far as you don't, neither one of us, because even um with my daughter and having to work before when I was working 12 hours a week and then coming home, having to, on weekends take care of her and still be a writer, deal with marketing, doing this, you know what I mean? Making sure, like you said, not robbing her of that time, but at the same time understanding what I'm doing or what I'm trying to lay down and put together is for her, is because of her, you know. But I think there are going to be other things in life in general that are going to get cut, you know.
What? What? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
You gotta cut it.
Okay. All right. That was very not. There's
No.
other things in life
Okay.
that has to be. What?
But see, again, that's why I said you're
basically he's not dating.
You're. Wow. Again.
I don't know what you're talking about. Do you guys know?
No, but in general, like, you're gonna have your priorities and what things are more important to you, what things take more interest. That's like anybody who knows me knows how much of a football fan I am. How I'm an avid football fan. Love my anime. There's a lot of things I enjoy. You know, even being outside. You know, I used to walk all the time when we were together. As far as like I'd go off for like go on a walking trail or something for like 2 hours or whatnot, come back. But I think the balancing is always changing as, she gets older and as you get older and you get better at balancing and juggling things. But in general, it's like, all right, is sports really that important that are some of these other things
I got some.
really that important? So I mean, again, they could take back seats to my daughter and to my dreams and aspirations.
My question, because it is, I understand how if you're under in a certain amount of stress, having that balance isn't, I mean, it is accessible to you, but you're in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
And being that money generally people's top priority, because the money, especially, like we were saying before, in men's, if you're the head of the household, money takes care of the family. Whatever. So how would you, how would you address somebody that has that type of scenario where they do work 12-hour shifts, and I'm not going to say it's men or women that do this more. I will say women who don't have kids, probably, but it's hard for a mother to, it's usually a driving force to grind harder, but when they're giving so much to their job, they're giving so much to their work that they don't have anything for the family. They don't have any energy. And rightfully so, because it provides. But where's that line drawn? You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, I think it also depends on what kind of work they're doing, because I think if you're trying to get out of survival mode, just wrote about this in my Substack. You should go check it out, myfellowinmate.substack.com.
Drop that plug.
I'll throw it at the bottom of the screen. You will. Nah, but all jokes aside, I think when it comes to work-life balance, I'm gonna get right back to, but just to add real quick, that the more important balance is the balance within self, as far as your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and making sure that's taken care of, in order to, when you're given that family time, or for your spouse, or your children, They don't get there. It's not drained from work, and going to what you were alluding to. Wow, they can wait. Like,
I was just trying to turn my phone on silent because clearly they cannot.
right? Like, oh my guy. She. Anyways, no, seriously though. I believe it depends on what you're doing, what you're working. Because if you're working at a warehouse and you have no passion for working at a warehouse, it's gonna drain you and suck you dry regardless. However, if you're living and doing your passion or something you're passionate about or something, you know, that you might feel is purposeful, whether it's your dreams, whether it's your own business or things, I don't think that drains you as much. You know, you like
But you can get lost in it.
no, you can't get lost in it. But what I'm trying to allude to is 60 hours at a job. You can't stand in 60 hours at a job. You appreciate are two different type of 60 hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so I think that's important to recognize because me and you have always had. I've had that conversation. I've told you that I will take a few dollars left when I was working. I will take a few dollars less to be somewhere
So he doesn't
that
work
that has for my peace of mind because I know how important that is. I can't be somewhere where I'm mentally and emotionally disrupted constantly and coming home because I know what that's going to do to my home life. And when I come home, I treat this like my sanctuary. When I'm at home, it's my sanctuary. And I don't want to, I want to keep it that way. I don't want to come in and turn it into a madhouse because of what's been going on at work. And I think that's important to recognize within your work that if you're not, like, I understand finances are important, but I feel like your children and your spouse are going to remember more of what you did and being there than they are going to remember what you bought them. Again, it's important to keep the lights on, the water running, and a roof over your head, but don't kill yourself for a few extra dollars when it's, killing your relationships. Again, your kid and your spouse is going to remember more about how you made them feel and what you did for them in the long run than, oh, you remember that thing you bought me? They remember the feeling they got from when you bought them that. They might not remember the thing itself. Her and her hoes.
Wow.
Should have been X's and hoes. That's what it should have been.
Exactly. Last up, main topic for today. Uh, it was just put out there that Rihanna will be performing this year at the Super Bowl.
And we didn't get to it last week. Yeah.
So, uh, my take on that, because again, somebody that's more culturally aware of things than other people.
Wow.
I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
I made a statement that we done last past god dang on what since Beyonce and Bruno. I mean Alicia and I'm thinking that every now you got Rihanna. They done knocked off all god dang on Jay-Z's people in a minute. I see you. I see what you're doing there, Jay. I see what you're doing there.
He is working with the NFL.
I know exactly. I know exactly what's going on. Of course. Of course he would have
He
his
ain't a
people.
billionaire for nothing.
Not at all. I think it's dope, honestly. Of course, me being a Rihanna fan, that's my alter ego sometimes, some days. Been waiting for music for 5, 7, however long. Freaking, what was the last album? My gosh. So I think it's a good thing after she done dropped the baby. A nice little comeback to remind hoes, what it is, what it ain't. But she has been getting backlash from it because when the Kaepernick stuff was going on, she took a stance not to perform or not to be involved with the halftime show. But that was also before Jay-Z got on board in the NFL for the halftime show and stuff like that. So I think that times have changed. Not so much in the NFL. NFL still the same NFL. It's no real change since Cap and that. Just more so the representation of, besides Jay-Z being in there and having a little bit more control over the visuals of what we get to see, other than freaking the Dixie Chicks or something like that.
Wow. Shots
Nothing wrong.
fired.
Nothing wrong with the Dixie
I went
Chicks.
to one of their concerts. They dope. They dope. Oh, I'm
not.
I'm musically diverse. My bad.
I never said you weren't. I never said it was a problem with me. I like lo-fi music. He don't even know what that is.
I don't.
So, what do you...
I don't.
So, I'm not even gonna say much on that. What is your take on Miss Riri doing the Super Bowl? The whole NFL and Super Bowl situation, the state of it right now.
You know, we
just had 50 Cent in them last year.
That was last year?
That was Snoop, 50, Dre.
I don't even know who was in the Super Bowl last year, low key.
I don't know, but it was all them last year.
Oh yeah, and M,
Kendrick.
Right? Yeah, Kendrick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was a whole West Coast
The whole
thing.
entire West, because it was in LA.
Yeah, that's right. The Rams won that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Snoop out there with a blunt. He gonna be Snoop.
Rightfully so.
He gonna be Snoop.
It might not be a titty.
But he gonna come out with the L's, because that's what
you know what I mean?
But,
yeah, going back to the titty situation. Ever since, they try to act like they're gonna ban us for life after that.
Fuck y'all for that too, by the way.
You know what I mean? But
y'all took the black one out, but I believe Justin was back there. What? Fucking 2 Super Bowls later.
Something like that.
Fuck y'all for that.
You know, right? Like she pulled it off herself.
You know what I'm saying?
It's cool though, cause now that we back. You know what I mean? We ain't. Anyways,
they tried to get her to do it. I would look at him stupid too. Like what?
And I think it's dope. Like she said, that's her alter ego. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was more of a Rihanna fan than Beyonce fan. I never thought Beyonce was all that good looking. I thought Rihanna, on the other hand, was.
You just like people with big foreheads. That's the moral of the story. I know. I get it. Not saying nothing behind this. That's why it's covered. So. But go ahead.
As far as her being backlash for doing the Super Bowl after making comments about not doing the Super Bowl, listen, people grow. There are a lot of things that my younger self sat there and I said that I would never do, or that I might have spoke out against, that now it's like, just with experience and more knowledge under my belt, I have a better understanding or a broader understanding of certain situations. What they say, what's the saying? Information changes situations.
It should he said he wasn't doing yesterday. It's changing every day.
I'm curious, what particularly did I say I wouldn't do, yesterday that... Oh, yeah, be here with her. That's exactly what I said. Something along those lines.
The fact that we're even doing this podcast together is information change situations.
Big facts. Big facts. If you would have saw us a year ago, not happening. But she grew to realize that I'm a smart ass nigga. Gotta keep a nigga like me around. Helps you in your life.
If it wasn't for a kid.
Let's
continue.
Yeah, we've gotten so far off the subject.
Super Bowl.
Like I said, information changes situations. I'm not gonna kill her for it, especially when that was an emotional time for all of us. How many of you... Okay, let me put it like this. How many of y'all said y'all wouldn't watch the NFL again, and yet y'all watching the NFL?
All the black people.
Okay, but She's wrong. She's the NFL's paying her. You're paying the NFL. Okay, I just thought I should point that out. That y'all said okay. Same issue. Both made a stand, but
Boom. Y'all act like she need to do that. What what did Jay say? Dude, she got a B by her name? Not a millionaire. A billionaire? Do you think she can? She gonna do it just because Jay, you want me to, I just had this baby, let me bounce back. I get it. It ain't for nobody else, but she don't need to do nothing else. I wouldn't drop another album about her too.
quick question, 'cause I know you made a comment about it before. What, this is a little bit of a sidetrack, but it still has to do with the Rihanna situation as far as women bouncing back so quick after having a baby. Is that more because you made the comment like, dang, Jay be having them bounce back like that.
Yeah,
Beyonce
Rihanna had did Coachella after having twins, but even after she had Ivy, she did the Super Bowl. Now Rihanna is bouncing back. If you want to even go into other, Serena after she had her daughter, and she had complications. Sierra, every time she has a kid, she drops a new song or track or whatever. She hasn't.
So is that a woman? So I'm curious. What's
I think that's a more of a reminding my to prevent that postpartum and not to lose yourself, because I understand you can get down on yourself after having a baby because your body just completely fucking changed. You just had a whole human being come out of you, and now you're in mommy mode. So to also remind yourself you are more than a mom, but that is the top priority role that you have, but to be that example for your child and to battle with the postpartum and actually yeah, I still got this shit. I still am this shit. Yeah, I got it. You know what I mean? I get it. I started tattooing right after I was pregnant tattooing. If I could freaking tattoo in the delivery room, I probably would. It's pretty intense. I was tattooing the entire pregnancy. Before, after. Which is not something you should be doing.
No. But if you want a tattoo, go ahead. Check out the Instagram. I hit you with the sling.
Right. If you want a tattoo, shouts out. Jay, A12 Cool.
Go ahead. Shameless plug everything, entrepreneur.
Facebook. Whatever you want to see me at, I'm on there. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them. Just Google JA12 Cool.
OnlyFans.
Wow.
You'll
anyway,
find her.
Just Google JA12 Cool. Yeah, all the artwork and everything's on there. It's me.
Even on Pornhub.
Wow, that's it. I don't even know what to say after that, guys. I
wasn't gonna be coming. I came out with that shoddy.
Coming and the comment he says before that, and the comment he says right after. Again, guys,
Catch us next week.